We're ready to rock and roll.
All right. Cheers, guys.
Cheers, everybody. 1, 2, 3. Boom. Oh, look at the sound.
That picked it up.
Left side, that did it right.
We've definitely had this before.
Yes, we have.
We have.
But I'm okay.
It's
Dorothy
very
just likes it.
It's very good.
No, I love it.
I
And
have
it is
one in my
Conehead.
fridge right now.
Conehead? Yeah.
Conehead.
You have
I've
one
had something
in your
else
fridge?
from Zero Gravity.
Somebody
but,
brought it, yeah.
Cool.
All right.
I like it. It's my newer,
I have one in my fridge now too.
newish favorite. Yeah, my newish favorite beer. So, shout out to
These people that make Conehead. Where is
Zero
it?
Gravity.
Hey,
Zero Gravity.
Who did we have this with?
I think it
Other
was
than Danielle.
I think it was one of the
Who's
ones
guest today.
on the deck. Yeah,
With a Hua.
maybe Hua.
What I feel? No, Derek had was the cloud thing. Or the
Cloud candy.
Cloud candy.
Yeah,
That's what it was.
Well, it'll come back.
But you know what? So anyway, here's Danielle.
Yeah, guys. So this is Danielle, one of our friends and colleagues, and we're very excited to have you on the show. Thanks for being here.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
highly anticipated episode, in my opinion. Just
Very
'cause I
much
knew
so.
we would have you on eventually.
Oh,
Yes,
absolutely.
Very highly anticipated, very eager,
Yeah,
excited.
so you
to
better
get out
live up
there.
to the standards.
No pressure.
My leg is shaking right now.
No pressure. Yeah, right.
It's
Sorry,
it's
we can
fine.
edit that
You'll
out.
be fine. Just don't.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll be. All right.
I'm gonna try to have that one be my only one for the episode. That's my goal. Everyone I have to do from now on, I have to do one of the Bud Lights
Get it out of your
for
system.
everyone.
Okay.
Yeah. There we go.
And we're gonna watch you do all of them.
Yeah.
Yep.
There we go.
That'll be the finish of every episode.
Nice.
Oh,
I literally just made that up.
All right.
All
Well,
right, that's fine.
whatever you got to do, man. Yeah.
love it.
It's alright. It's only a little alcohol poisoning.
Stone Cold style. It would be really cool.
No, but I love myself.
So yeah. Oh, there we go.
So
And I
how do
want
you
to-
guys
yeah.
decide who you're gonna have as guests on the episode?
Usually it's whoever's available. No, I'm kidding.
That's
No, that's a
I
fair
mean,
question.
partially
not
true.
untrue. That's
No,
not
partially
untrue.
true.
No
Yeah.
one's ever asked that, but honestly, just people who we feel are of course, would have an interesting conversation with, where it's a little bit different each time. Obviously, we know you because of the gym, which we can all relate to, and obviously because we feel like you have something else to bring to the table that no one else has yet, such as astrology, which we can kick off with. So before we started filming, Danielle was, I don't know how you did that. She just knew
She did her
all
research.
of, yeah. Can you please explain that?
Just do it again.
Yeah.
Just point out. We'll just do.
Yeah, so we have a Taurus, we have a Scorpio, and we have a Gemini.
Don't hold it against me. I
Preference
guess.
to the water sign, because water sign in the building.
Okay,
I'm a
what's a
Cancer.
water sign?
not
So-
Avatar, right? Not like the water bender or
No,
fire bender.
I'm not assuming.
Oh, okay.
Actually, that would be
Okay.
really cool.
So
No,
you're an
just
air
go
sign.
ahead.
You're an earth sign.
So what what makes me an air sign? What's a water sign? What? How does
Let's
it
You are
work?
rather
I don't
air.
know. This is
Let's start with him.
Like
So
it's
he's
clear when
a-
it's Pokemon.
He's a
Scorpio.
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 I don't know what anyone else is.
Scorpion. Get over here.
Emotional but guarded.
Right.
Sean, it took you a little while to open up.
To you?
I would say so.
I don't think so. But all right. Okay.
I would say so. Yeah.
But that's the thing. You know the criteria for all of them, and like I.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
it's interesting. I noticed that in our gym, typically hiring managers do end up hiring a lot of the same signs, and we had a lot of Tauruses that worked in our gym.
Thanks, Derek.
Yeah, so we had, I think, 3 or 4 Tauruses that worked in our gym.
So, what's a Taurus?
A DeMarco.
We only had one.
What's your
DeMarco.
birthday?
You only need one to
Yeah,
mark up.
exactly. Well,
I don't think that's all we can handle.
Yeah,
You can't have more than
Tim's
one.
kind of similar.
Yeah.
In
Yeah.
terms of.
Yes.
Yeah, so Tauruses are very values driven, so it actually makes for a really great personal trainer. They're very good with just making sure that they understand clients' values and making sure that the outcome is in sight. So, just like hearing out what their goals may be, and so I just think there are a lot of trainers that typically are Tauruses.
Oh, when the barks,
Thank you.
When the
Yeah.
dog barks, you can see it on the computer.
I like the. Yeah. I like how that sounds.
Yeah.
So now, before we dive far too much into astrology, I kind of want to get everyone to know who's speaking first. Before people tune in, all right, she's
Well, that is
talking
part
about
of her, but
stars and shit. Who, all right. So you work with us at the gym. We've made that pretty clear so far. What kind of got you into fitness? What made you decide? Because you had a whole career before you kind of came into this, and you went,
Yeah.
I'm done, right?
Yeah. So in 15 or so, I was actually living in Cuba. And when I was there, it's a really huge food desert. So, there are tons of resources in Cuba, but not all of them are accessible. And so I noticed that when I was there, my eating habits completely switched
For the better or the worse?
for the worse.
Okay. I mean,
Because
it's
pretty
Cuban
much
food,
anything
like,
that was like in walking distance was a gas station, and all that was being sold was beer, not
Huh.
just beer, but beer
Yep.
or ice cream,
Lahaim.
and so that
Yeah,
became
yes.
shalom.
Two
So that-
very good food groups.
Yes,
if we're being
very
honest.
good. With balance, and there wasn't a ton of balance. It was really hard to get certain, like certain things to eat that were what I would eat before. It was hard to work out.
Was it more like carb dense versus like protein, like
Yeah,
calorie,
and like pork.
Yeah, yeah.
Pork was a big staple.
Oh yeah, pork is huge.
Yeah, proportion sizes felt bigger.
Oh, got it.
And yeah, just having a different accessibility to those resources definitely altered my own regime and regimen. And so when there also wasn't a gym there, and so I would go running outside, but I think there also was like a gender construct to what that looked like to just be a woman running outside in Havana.
Okay.
And so I definitely lost myself and lost my own routine. So when I came back, I kind of just went full force and was definitely overworking out. I was in the gym 2 or 3 times a day. I came back to UMass Amherst where I was going to school.
Okay.
And I kind of just like hid myself in the gym between classes. I would go at night, I would go in the morning, I would go.
Became obsessive.
Yeah, it definitely wasn't healthy.
No.
And my goal was just to kind of like undo everything that had happened in Havana rather than like work with what had happened and just notice and pay attention to my body. And so I started working with the trainer over there. Shout out to my old trainer, Jen. And she told me...
What's up, Jen? Someone else doing shout outs. Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah. And she just instilled how important it was to have that balance of like strength training, because I would just put myself on an elliptical until I hit like a certain calorie count, which was just not...
Yeah, no. And they say,
I mean, yes, calories in, calories out, but like my body was weak. I wasn't doing any strength training, so I was having all these like compensations from going to like sitting at a desk all day in my classes and then just like getting on a machine. Yeah, like it wasn't actually good workouts. I was sweating, but
it was just like throwing crap against the wall and seeing what sticks.
yeah. And so that's when I started getting more into like, okay, how can I have effective workouts? Because now that I've been able to like get in the habit, I broke this habit of, okay, now I can get myself back in the gym.
I know.
And
I'm
there
watching the
a
second
certain
half, and I'm
amount.
like, let's go.
I'm there, like I'm back, I'm here. And
Yeah.
I've convinced myself of that because I think there's a certain like imposter syndrome that you're like, I haven't been to the gym. I remember I would not go in the gym with short sleeves. Like I wore hoodies. I was like, I'm going to sweat this out. Like,
Yeah, 2015. So was that only 2015, or is it stretching over a few years?
This was like a year and a half.
Okay, so like from 2015 to 2017.
No, just like 2015, 2016, like that.
Cool.
That senior year of college.
Got it.
And so then I was like, okay, I'm getting a little more comfortable. Like people are coming up to me in the gym, and like I'm becoming a regular here. So like maybe that imposter syndrome, like
It's going away.
I can feel it inside. But if other people are like, hey, what are you doing in here? Can I work out with you? Then maybe like I need to have a conversation with myself about that. And so I just started looking at like what goes into making an effective workout, and like maybe I don't need to be doing 2 hours or an hour of cardio every day.
Yeah.
You don't.
You really don't.
don't.
You really don't.
She
Maybe
learned-
that's your starting
It
point.
took her a while.
It's a common misconception.
Dude, it took all of us a while.
She's been talking for what, 10 minutes? That's all you need.
Yeah, I mean, I would, and then I started doing things, and I was doing like 15 different variety of
That's
squats. I don't even know how to say that because it
15
doesn't even
variety.
make sense. Like
Modifications.
15 different ways of doing
Variations.
squats, which
Variations.
like also isn't creating balance. I would just like do one thing, which is either cardio, which is like a ton of squats, and it's just like balance is overall, it's holistic. It's not just with your eating, it's not just with your sleeping, it's like with what goes into your workout too, and like simple is better.
Oh, you've had a journey.
And I'm not a simplistic person, if you can tell how long I've been talking. Like simple
No,
is
and we
hard
know
for
you.
me.
Keep going. No, we're all ears.
So yeah, once I was able to be like, okay, wait, simple is
Mhm.
actually like getting the job done. I just had to like get into this
Right.
habit, which 21 days, right, to make a habit,
Something like that. Yeah.
something like that. So
Yeah,
okay,
get
like
us a stick.
Yeah.
Yeah. 2 weeks.
I can trust that I'll get into the gym and I can be here, but now what do I do with the time when I'm here? and
And
how can I
that's
make it more effective?
where all we come.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes. So
So-
when you decided to become a coach, so like around, actually I don't even think it's like we've met before. She was a trainer.
Yeah, I remember you being a member of the gym, then worked with
Oh,
Sarah.
before that.
Well,
Yeah.
I showed up in 2017. So.
Right. No. So I don't. Not from the gym at all.
Mm.
I wasn't even a coach yet.
All right.
Yeah. So like, you weren't. No. Wait. So it was tied to the job you had.
Yep. So
Yeah.
after graduating, I thought I was gonna want to go like right away to get a master's degree. So I started working in higher ed, because paid degrees are great.
They are.
Sponsor me.
Please.
But yeah, so I started working at a small liberal arts college, and I met you at
Bunker Hill.
an
Yeah.
admissions fair. Yeah.
Yeah. I think I was at. God, it was what 2016,
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah.
And I was at Bunker Hill. So and then you were there for that admissions fair. We started talking. I was like, all right, yeah, cool. This is
Yeah.
great, like fun. Stayed in contact slightly, and then she started going to the gym, and we were like, wait, hold on, I know your face.
I love that feeling. It's
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah, like,
And
like
it's funny
years
because
later or something, whatnot.
I
We
would
didn't have a
sneak to
very
the
long
gym.
conversation.
No,
No, we didn't.
but I would sneak to the gym on my lunch breaks.
Yeah.
And I remember when I left that job and I started getting into training, my old coworkers were like, "This happened so randomly," like, but it really wasn't random. It was just that like I was using that 30-minute lunch break or that hour lunch break to do what I was passionate about, which was to like, get in the gym and make that work with a 9 to 5, because that's a whole different topic. Just like finding the time to work out,
So
doing it
hard.
effectively while you're like so run down from working those 40 hours a week is just.
Luckily, we don't have to deal with that.
Yeah.
But I have all the sympathy in the world.
I mean,
for
there's
people.
definitely
Yeah.
trainer burnout though too.
Oh God,
Well,
yeah.
yeah.
Oh
Absolutely.
God. I mean, at the end of the day, it is still a job. And
Yeah.
no one ever wants to, all the time, every day, always just happy to go to work.
Right.
That doesn't ever happen.
True.
You
But
know?
I mean, like split shifts and stuff, or like having
It
like
burns
2
out.
hours off. It's like it's nice where you like someone at a regular job doesn't get to do
It's balance, yeah.
Oh yeah.
So
Oh yeah. There's definitely. Oh,
I can't complain in that
I
regard.
definitely cannot
Yeah.
complain. But
Yeah.
like, there's definitely burnout. Like,
Yeah.
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 Burnout
Much
and
like
everything.
anything.
So yeah, after that, I started working at a nonprofit. So the college I was working at actually closed, and I started working at a nonprofit, and I
They
was
do?
like,
They can close colleges.
yeah. So a lot of colleges are actually closing down right now.
Right now, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
especially the liberal arts colleges. As
I'm
well.
already learning.
Yeah.
Already learning. Ironically.
So yeah. So again, I was working 40 hours a week at a nonprofit. I was at a desk all day, which like.
Mm-mm.
I have ADD, and sitting at a desk all day was
Yay.
just like I was tapping under the desk. Like my coworkers couldn't stand me. Still like getting up during my lunch break, but yeah, I was like I need to put this energy into something, and so I ended up. I had a friend that was over at American Academy of Personal Training, and I ended up starting their program, and so I would work from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. and then from 6 to 10 p.m. I would go do my classes over there, and that was really cool because it was a hands-on program. A lot of times people go and they sit for an exam, which is the NASM or the ACE, and they do the certification, and then they get ready, they gear up, and they go into a gym to work with people but have no hands-on experience,
Oh,
which
yeah.
is scary. Which is scary because now you're working with somebody that is a professional but has never worked with bodies before.
Baby professional. Yeah.
Yeah,
That was
so
all of us.
I wanted to
Yep.
make sure that I had this deep-seated imposter syndrome, and that expands through different things in my life. So I just
Mhm.
wanted to make sure that I had the experience under my belt. So shout out to AAPT as well, American Academy of Personal Training.
Down in
Um,
Copley.
Yep, over by Newbury Street. So
Mhm.
yeah,
Maybe we should have them on in the future.
yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
honestly, I like. I almost.
Really cool. I like
I
to learn about their
I was
system.
almost a student of theirs. I just couldn't afford. Like I literally had the down payment ready to go,
Oh yeah.
but I had to pull it back because I lost whatever restaurant job I had at the time. Like, yeah, I gotta pay rent. Give me my money back.
No. I understand.
Yeah.
And
And to me, that was part of it. I was like, I can't have people start investing in me if I don't start with an investment in myself. So I was like, I need to, if I can, then I need to just put this into it and have faith that when I do start working in fitness, that will be returned in some way. So I definitely tracked after I started working how long it took me to make that investment back.
Oh, cool.
But yeah, so after AAPT, I started working at the Medford Boston Sports Club. Shout out to all of you.
Yeah, all of us.
You can do your little clink, clink.
Oh,
Yeah, we should.
I mean,
Yeah.
I guess. Yeah. I mean, we're being recorded. I guess. I guess. Yeah, loyalty. Yes.
Yeah. But the reason I chose to work at that BSC is because I saw that there was diversity in education levels and in expertise, and that was really important for me. I wanted to be in a place where I could learn from other trainers.
Yeah.
And immediately when I came on, I think like DeMarco pulled me to the side and was like, "Hey, let me show you this thing." And like, you know, if you ever,
he just does that. He does that a lot. Yeah.
That sounds about right.
I'm very quiet. I never talk
and he's
to
like,
you
if your client ever has a question, just pull me aside, and like that's totally fine. Like it doesn't mean you know less. It means that we can continue to learn from each other, even with you being a trainer and with me being a
Did I really
trainer.
say that?
You said something along
I don't
those
remember saying
lines.
that.
Yeah. It definitely like so like what
We gotta
Sean was saying, like it definitely helped you coming in already. You were a member first, worked with another one of our trainers. And then kind of like it was actually a really cool process to at least see it from the outside.
So the
I will
glow
tell you
up
this:
for sure. Yeah.
you were better
Yes.
prepared going into your career than we were.
Oh,
Because I went into the gym and it was just like the Wild West. It was like, okay,
Yeah.
do you want to work out?
Yeah.
Let's
BSC
do
was
some
my
like
first gym, too.
chest press,
Same.
maybe. Yeah.
Yeah, it was weird telling adults to do stuff.
Yeah.
I'm 31. I mean, I know I was an adult when I got hired, like being 26, 25, something like that. When I was hired, but like telling a 43-year-old to do something, I'm not like, and then that felt weird.
Oh, I know.
And then having them do it, I was like,
oh my
this
god,
is strange.
that's how I was
It is
too.
weird.
Because I would say I'm a military guy, like military Southern, gentleman, quote unquote. But I would do like sir and
Gentleman
ma'am.
fits.
And I would say thank you. I would say like
Gentleman
sir
fits.
and ma'am and all that stuff. And we would after training for a while, they just start saying, dude,
Drop
just
the man,
just
please.
call me Jeff, bro. Like, or just
Like,
call me
you
Barbara.
know my name.
Yeah, like it's just
Shut
that
up.
like, and then they're like, just it's cool, bro. They're like, you can chill. So it's really funny.
Yeah.
Because I like when I started, I was 23.
Yeah.
So I very much saw myself as still a kid. I was like, oh yeah,
You were. Yeah.
because I was training people that were like 60, some of which were like 65. One person that was 70. So I'm just like, you're as old as my grandparents. How are you doing?
It's So like,
So
how have you kind of been with quarantine, COVID, with like your
Yeah.
so not so much of your training, like your own personal like workouts. I mean, business wise.
Yeah, so it's been an adjustment. I think the greatest takeaway for me has been working on articulating my cueing. Because doing that virtually, it's not just like, here, let me show you how to like adjust your hand really
Dude,
quick
yeah.
or your grip, right? It's like, I need to figure out the wording so that you can visualize me doing that. And like, yes, I can show you over the screen, but I really need to articulate that cueing so that you have visuals in mind. So for example, if I'm telling you to do like a retraction, like squeeze a pencil down your spine, just creating like new visuals that keep
I
the
like
client
that.
engaged. Yeah.
NASA, right?
I like that.
Yeah, that, or like Superman's, right? You want to pretend like you're squeezing a pencil down your spine, and that'll just create that visual. So just coming up with new and fun visuals.
I'm stealing
And
that.
like one thing that I've done a lot of is taking other trainers' classes. So when we first started, like I got to participate in your class.
Big
Mhm.
learning
I took
curve.
one of Mike's classes, and it's really helpful to hear some of your cues and just being able to share those and share
Yep.
the love.
Absolutely.
Right.
Yes.
So that was really fun.
Yes. There's no such thing as stealing in this field. No such thing.
No,
Sharing.
no.
Share is caring.
Yes.
That was my favorite thing to do was to I remember we like officially shadowed like 2 or 3 sessions or whatever with like a senior coach, but I found myself I'm also a friendly person, but
You are.
I found myself
Are we
kind of
not?
No, of course you are. Yeah, no,
By
of course you are.
comparison,
Are
I
you kidding
guess not. We're
me? No. But I found
You
myself
said
kind of
overtly friendly.
hanging around like your sessions. Of course, I would get to know the clients at Mike's
Yeah.
sessions.
Yeah.
But
you worked with all of us.
I also
Me and
enjoy.
you had a handful of sessions together.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, you and Mike too. You and Sean. Like,
But I really enjoyed I really liked listening to you guys cue as well. I definitely learned a lot. Like hearing, I know I talk about this all the time, but like hearing Mike coach the deadlift for the first time I saw it was just like,
Yeah.
I am Jon Snow and I know nothing.
yeah, that's exactly why I love having a coach.
Yeah.
That's
Dude,
like,
best investment I ever made, man.
Yes.
Let me tell you.
Yeah, I got you.
Best investment ever.
Yeah. So that's been one thing. Another thing has been So, I mean, there are people that I made connections with over at BSC that have contacted me maybe like a week ago, or,
Mhm.
you know, it'll be 6 months down the line just being like, hey, I remember we did
Mhm.
that fitness
thing.
orientation,
Yep.
or like, I remember that I asked you, like, when's the gym opening? And just in this time of uncertainty, the fact that they remember that they have a resource and a person to reach out to, that as a trainer just makes you feel so good. One, that they saved your number because
Yeah.
like
Oh, no kidding.
yeah.
Yeah.
6 months later, but
Mhm.
two, just that they were like, okay, I'm gonna pocket this. And sometimes you'll walk away from like an initial session and you'll be like, oh, that person like wasn't feeling me, or they just like didn't align with my approach. But the fact that they come back and you're just like, wow, like I did resonate with this person and my philosophy stuck.
Oh, yeah.
So that's been something that's been really positive. I guess the like, I want to say harder part, but the more challenging part, but also awesome part, is that we can be more resourceful ourselves as trainers.
Mhm.
Because it's like, okay, this person doesn't have weights, but maybe they have, you know, they have this can right
Here.
here, so they're like,
Doing
and
the
so
curls.
yeah,
And
just
up.
learning how
Yep.
to influence being resourceful. I think that's a beautiful thing that's come out in a lot of ways throughout this pandemic.
Absolutely.
a lot of people shoulder
Yeah.
shoulder pressing like laundry detergent.
Love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Creativity flies.
I had clients do Turkish get-ups
Yeah.
with a laundry detergent container. It's like
Yeah.
it's a bottoms-up get-up.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But
Yeah.
one of my like number one questions was, do you have a backpack and a bunch of books?
Yeah,
They're like, what?
Why?
Trust me.
dude. I grew up watching MacGyver reruns. I got this.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It was cool to get the creative juices flowing and not finding it as using it as an excuse not to work out. Because like, just because you're not at the gym doesn't mean you can't do anything.
You definitely you jumped into the fire pit though, doing your virtual like group classes.
Oh, yeah.
like
Yeah.
because I
Trial
had
by
like
fire, man.
very few people doing mine. It was smaller, so it was much more manageable. But dude, I couldn't imagine. Like that's props to you, and you as well. You had classes as well.
Still does.
over
Yeah.
and you still do. Yeah. So
Like everyone's watching, kind of like understands who's speaking. Okay, tell us about ourselves, please.
All right.
So no, we're well. You started out like Taurus, Gemini.
he's feeling left
Scorpio.
out. He wants you to talk about his sign.
I mean, I'm always feeling left
I
out,
mean,
'cause,
you have some
like,
legends that
I
are
have-
Geminis. You have Kendrick, Tupac.
So
Um,
I'm done. That's all right. I'm done now. I'm good.
High
Leave it at that.
standards.
Okay.
High point.
Okay.
High point.
No, I mean, Geminis are usually really creative because they have so many thoughts. And they're like
Well, that's-
all or nothing. They're absolute. So, like, but also those absolutes switch daily. So, like, one day you could be like, I'm going to go work out. And then the other day you could be like, I'm going to lay here and do nothing. Which
Sometimes
is
you
fine
do that
because
in the
balance
same
is key. Yeah, Geminis, man.
Yeah.
You just never know.
I just.
Never know.
You're right. I don't even know
I don't know.
It seems pretty
I don't
spot
know
on
either.
so far.
that.
Seems legit.
So
Yeah.
like how? Sorry, just tell them more about themselves, and I'll ask what I'm thinking.
Okay. So Scorpios will ask a ton about other people, but
Right.
will rarely share a lot about themselves. They're very guarded, and although they are emotional beings,
Maybe.
although they're emotional, you probably won't know unless you deceive them, and then they'll kind of get a little feisty.
She's good.
But they feel deeply. They have good hearts. They're just very intense. Very intense.
Nailed it.
Okay.
Maybe I'm
but-
coming around to this a little bit.
But your sun sign, so that's all of your sun signs. Your sun sign explains what other people experience from you. So that's the personality they experience from
What's
you.
the difference?
And the
So-
moon sign,
Okay, sorry.
the moon sign is your like internal being, and it's how you experience the world.
Okay.
And that depends on the time you were born, the day you were born, and where you were born.
So. Wait.
Cool.
You have your full Scorpio.
How
Is
you doing?
birth sign. I guess that is that
It's sun sign, yeah,
it's
based on right when the day you're born. So
Mm.
either October, November.
also if
right?
there's
November.
two.
November.
So is there two signs for everyone?
There's 12.
You
You
know,
have the
you know what I
whole-
mean. I mean, so there's 12 in the calendar, but I mean like there's moon, like sun
No,
sign.
no, but
moon
everybody
sign.
has, because you have like your Mars, your Mercury. It's where each planet aligns based on.
Wait, hold on. All right,
Whoa,
now,
okay.
okay.
The plot thickens.
Okay.
Yeah,
I think this is Inception, baby. We're going deep today. I like this.
yeah. So different things say different. So like you have your love and aggression. You have that's like one of the signs. You have your. You're trying so hard right now. Go ahead, laugh it off. Okay.
Nothing.
All right.
Okay.
Are we good?
I'm being good.
Okay, we're gonna continue.
All right, you have like
Sean
your
is an aggressive
emotional
lover,
side.
but
There it is.
Depends.
There it is. That's what she knew.
Maybe.
Need it. Yeah.
continue. Sorry.
You got it out of your system.
Sorry.
I'm good.
Yeah, so a really good app that I like to use is called CoStar, and that's you can put in all your information. You can also like compare compatibility to others. But one thing I definitely took note of is like they say that when you're first starting, a lot of your clients kind of I think you told me this are like extensions of your personality until you really hone in on your craft and you can
flip it.
kind of like
Flip it. So when you first start out, so what I'm saying is like when you have like a little bit more leg in the game, like when you've been there for a while, your clients will have more of a reflection on you because they're the ones that stuck around. Because when you first start, it's more like a revolving door of people. You're just getting everybody. Like DeMarco was saying, like 60, 70, 75-year-olds. You're also probably getting 35-year-olds, 40-years, children, teenagers. And the ones that stuck around are the ones that fit best with you. So yeah, that was me, just the other way.
Yes, that part. Gemini, always flipping things. But
I didn't flip it, son. No, I didn't flip it.
I flipped it. I flipped it. I'm moody. Cancers are very moody.
I'm learning a lot today.
But so I would always like listen to hear when my clients' birthdays are to know like am I calling to like one sign more than others? And now you're probably thinking like this crazy star lady, but
no.
it's cool. We all have our things.
Well, let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. So, obviously, when you know the birthday, you know their sign. Have you may laugh at this. Have you spoken to a person, talk to them about certain like or anything, and you're like, boom, that's definitely a Taurus. Boom, that's definitely an Aquarius. Like,
yeah,
really,
you're always right.
and you're always right.
I'm not always right.
Yeah.
What's your batting average? Would you say? Like how
750?
accurate are you?
Maybe like 60%.
600.
600. Yeah. Okay.
That's pretty good. Still batting average. Yeah.
That's
good. Yeah.
Not bad.
That's about 60% more than me. So yeah.
Absolutely.
So have you ever had moments where it's like you're like a Taurus, and they're like, I'm a Sagittarius,
and I'm like, let me do your whole chart.
Yeah.
You're like, wait a second, pause everything.
All right, let's break this down real quick.
It's like I'm gonna be right.
That's
I do
funny.
like to be right.
So do you think the people that you, so you would mesh well, or mesh better with people that are your sign, technically? Like,
Yeah. How does that work?
do you notice like in the clients that you have, the people that are the same sign as you mesh together better, and then if it's the opposite, it's kind of like maybe not as good of a compatibility?
Yeah.
I think it really depends. Like, I think different signs have different qualities and characteristics, and that doesn't mean like they can't align with other signs, but sometimes that may have an effect on the way like certain signs open up, right? So like if I can see within you like you have your guard up, maybe there's certain ways that I'm like asking questions that may allow for more open-ended responses, or if I can see that you're very value-driven, maybe I'm asking questions that are like trying to pull from your values. So it's really just like human behavior, because at the end of the day, like people are patterns.
That's actually what I was going to ask. I was like, so how much of like when you're just, like not even the clients, just like getting to know someone, how much are you actually just like reading like the person and using like your natural like intuition versus you're a Cancer, I'm going to go this way. You know what I mean?
The latter.
Okay.
The latter.
Nice.
I feel like
And just kind of
to me it matters because I'm like, okay, this has meaning, but also like life experience shapes people too. So
Yes.
You know what's really funny is that you started off with mine and you said Taurus, right? Taurus, yeah. You said values driven. So funny enough, that's our latest post on the page is our strength with purpose company values, and we talked about the three things that we are all about, and it's I take full responsibility for myself. Serve with compassion. I serve with compassion and humility, and then the last one is I am a part of something greater than my individual self. So that he and I kind of talked about, kind of a year ago now, months ago. I don't know. What is time?
At this point, time is.
I'm curious to
That's
know
cool.
if the accountability piece was one that you brought up, and if something that was more like emotional, like humility or like characteristic came from you.
I would have said maybe flip that.
Flip again.
Flip back to the original thought.
It's hard to
I would say I'm a pretty emotional person though. I'm very.
Oh no.
I
Yeah,
can be.
I would say I'm very emotionally.
Oh, yeah. According to
Tauruses
Myers-Briggs,
I think they're more
you're my
even
introverted
keeled
cousin.
though.
What's that?
Tauruses I think they're more even keeled though. I think like when we experience some emotion, like we don't let ourselves feel the full emotion because it's like we're scared of the intensity of our own emotions at times. So like getting too upset about something or getting too like there's a little bit of withholding. I don't know, maybe not you. You're pretty even.
No,
I
like,
try.
as you say that, I'm kind of like laughing because I'm like, yes, I just welcome my shit. I just bring it. Like, just let it happen.
Well, everyone deals with stuff in that way, obviously.
Yeah.
Again,
So
life
I don't know if that
experience.
was just
Life
me
experience.
and being life
Yep.
experience, or if that's like me being a Gemini. Like I have no idea anymore.
Hard to tell. I'm still learning more than I ever knew before today.
Yeah, this
so.
is interesting. Yeah, no, I like this. I feel like we should definitely do another episode, or at the very least, just talk about it. But the book that Tommy and I read was Surrounded by Idiots,
Yes.
and it went into like personality, and it was 4 colors, right?
It was four
Four
colors.
colors for each person.
Blue. So not 4 colors for each person. So it's different.
Oh yeah.
So it's just like four colors: blue, yellow, green, red. Each one's kind of just like they have their own personality traits that I'm not able to discern right now off the top of my head.
I got
But
you.
each one kind of has like its own traits, and 80% of people, in theory, 80% of people are 2 colors. 15% of people are blends of 3 colors.
Mm-hmm.
5% of people are just one singular color. Blues and yellows tend to be so. If you look at like an
I'm
XY
blue
graph,
and green.
yeah, it was so. Let's see how they go. I would probably say, knowing you're more of a blue red.
Okay.
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think
So-
my professional self is very different than my like.
Oh, I know.
Oh,
no.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
In a good way.
I
in a
know.
good way. Yeah.
Oh no, I know.
Like in a boardroom, you can be cutthroat if you have to. Like you can step up and like.
That's the red.
Snap
Yeah.
next.
That's
So-
the red.
If you look at it like an XY graph, so on the left side, I'll do it the opposite for the camera. On the left side, there's greens and
Always
blues.
flipping shit.
I'm just saying, like flipping the thing.
Yeah.
That's one. So blues, greens. On the opposite side, it's reds, yellows. Blues, greens tend to be more introverted. Reds, yellows tend to be more extroverted.
Okay.
Blues, reds tend to be more results oriented. Greens, yellows tend to be more relationship oriented.
Mhm.
And the way they kind of get classified is like we're yellows. Our main color in that, according to that book, is yellow. If you think of like extroverted, usually the loud ones of the party, just storytellers trying to be the center of attention because their reds and yellows tend to be more ego driven. They're a little more egocentric. We're all trying to be essentially, for lack of a better word, just gigantic children. That's pretty much what yellows are. Reds are extremely intense. Think of a red-faced boss. They tend to be extremely intense. When you're giving instructions to a red, reds already start the project before you're done giving the instructions.
Yeah.
Everything's a competition to them. They try to be first. Yellows are also extremely competitive, but not to the point of reds.
Reds are ultra
So am I like a
competitive. though.
purple? Because I'm a red blue.
Yes, we'll call it that. Actually, that makes perfect sense.
It's kind of cool. I like that.
Maybe a little bit of yellow. Because you're definitely not a green. Greens are friggin' annoying. But that's because I'm a yellow. I'm the exact opposite. Blues, the only way I can really sum up a blue, it's like if you ask a blue if they have any emotion, they'll be like,
Yeah.
well, I mean, I have XL.
Greens are.
I mean, I did love my Excel program.
That's
Yeah.
why,
In a company though, like in a business structure, like a company,
You need them
greens are so consistent though.
So needed, too.
They're very needed,
Yes.
right? So it's interesting how the different
True.
colors are like
Yeah.
they have their strengths. Like you need a red, you need that hard charger to kind of drive everybody
Boss.
along.
The one that
The
needs
boss.
to be in control.
The alpha.
Derek? No, Derek would not be a green. Derek is a red.
I think Derek's a red.
Derek's a red.
I think
blue.
Derek's a I think a red
Derek's a
blue.
red
I think a
blue.
red blue. Yeah, he's not a hard. He's not a hard
greens-
red. Yeah, I would.
because
Yeah.
greens, they're introverted. But
Oh.
greens are like, they're very consistent. They're very Stephen Keel, but they're very like even keel, but they're very even keel. They're fence sitters because they don't want to
Okay.
rock the boat.
Yeah.
They don't like
a
take
green-
risks. Yeah.
Yeah, they don't.
You can
so not
rely
even
on a
that.
green.
Yeah,
you
reliable. That's
very
what I was
reliable.
thinking.
to a degree. You can rely on them, but you cannot rely on them to be honest with you. You can't because
Yeah.
they're not boat rockers. They
Well,
will
no,
agree
I
with
mean-
you. They can be
yeah.
emphatically against everything you're saying.
Right,
But
right.
You're in charge, and they'll okay.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
it's like a green. If a green
Sounds like
makes-
a Libra.
makes
Yeah.
a commitment, they're going to
I know.
honor the commitment. That's
Oh,
one
yes.
thing.
Yeah,
If
yeah,
a green, if there's
That's
an
the consistency.
appointment, a green's going to be there.
Yes, they will.
Every time.
Yes, same thing with blues.
A meeting, whatever, green's there.
Yeah.
Every time.
They will be. Yeah,
Yellows
they're
are going to
very
be.
consistent.
Okay,
That's
Yellows
the-
are forgetful. We're going to forget. We're going to be like,
So
I
which
remember yellow,
which
yeah.
color is closing the deal, and which one is like starting the
Depends
initial
on the deal.
reaction as
Depends
with
on the
the
deal.
like relationship?
I guess it depends on the
you
deal.
say deal like a business deal, like a sale, like a closing
Like
a
a sale,
sale?
closing
or-
a
Blue,
sale.
red. Blue or red. Because it's not emotional.
Not green.
I mean, it could be green, could be yellow. It does depend on the sale.
Hmm.
Or it depends on the deal. Depends on whatever
Yeah.
it is. But if you want it to get done and to be
You
red.
have to have the combo,
Red.
yeah.
Red.
And that's where I would be interested to see.
Blues are, so reds are leaders, blues are minions. Try to
Yeah.
look at it that way. Blues will not take charge. They will not.
But blues do so much of the essential, like what we would call like the back office work that's very important that keeps the engine running.
Yes.
So it's very
Mhm.
like in greens as well. But
So we could like put everyone in one of the
Oh, yeah.
seats of the
There's
car.
no-
So, like,
yes.
oh,
I mean,
absolutely.
So
That's how it rolls.
Oh, I
that's
like that,
that's
yeah.
all how it rolls.
Okay.
You
How
need
it rolls.
you need the
I like it. Good
Funny.
conversation.
you need all of
So
the
who's in the
different
driver's seat?
personalities.
Reds in the
Red.
driver's seat.
If you take red out of the driver's seat, they're going to cause them stress.
The car's gonna crash.
so blue is in the passenger.
Blues know exactly how many miles they need. The blues are the ones with the map.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. GPS.
Blues are the ones
Yeah.
with the map. They know how many miles to get there, what they have to do, all the stop points, all they be able to place. No emotion involved, but they have all the information.
Okay.
Yeah.
They
okay.
always want more
Like an Aquarius.
information.
Cool.
We're gonna have you read this
Yeah,
book
actually,
because I
this is
think
why,
you're gonna
this is why
find some.
we
I'm
want
gonna
to
have
bring it up.
to.
It's very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just like it's like a
It's
tennis
so
match
cool.
right now. Back
It's
to
so
back.
cool.
Yeah.
And so as you're going, you're like thinking about people in your lives, like
With
That's
it,
the best
yeah.
part. Yeah, you can
Yeah.
start
'cause
relating.
you're a yellow.
Yep.
You're like me. You're a yellow.
Thank you.
And so like, the reason I go yellow red, not red yellow, is because like it seems like you're more driven by like whatever yellow tendencies are versus red tendencies. For instance, like example, my dad's a red yellow. My dad's a little bit more red faced than I am. I guess it's just for in terminology, I guess.
Yeah.
So
Uh,
like when you're saying everyone's color, can you say like what specific attributes they have that make you deem them that color?
Off the top of my head,
Like for Sean, for example, what made you say those two colors?
yellow because because you're funny, witty. You actually are very outgoing when it does come. I mean, you're an outgoing person. You're extroverted.
Try to be.
So the fact that he's just simply extroverted means he's yellow red. He's either yellow or red.
Okay.
You can be like yourself. You're extroverted, introverted with your red blue,
Okay.
but that can kind of come.
So the
Other
the
directions.
red is like being assertive.
So the red is his.
Yeah.
It would be like the assertiveness.
And hard work- hard
we're
worker.
trainers. so
Hard worker. You push yourself.
Yeah,
you
exactly.
won't always get better.
Right. Like we're all coaches. So
I
like
feel like
we're going
like,
to have
setting
an
him up for
extroverted.
like
Well, you pointed to him. So,
yeah.
I'm just sitting here. Yeah.
But
hanging out.
I would
Sitting
love
on
to
myself.
see a comparison and kind of like a cross reference, if you will, of the four colors and the astrological signs and see what kind of like
That's-
trends there would
That's
be.
why I'm glad
Yes.
we're
I
bringing
think that would
it
be
up.
cool.
That's yeah.
I
That
would
would be
want to
really
bring
cool.
that up and also like Myers-Briggs.
So have you
Or
guys
yeah,
ever heard
yeah.
of the activist Killer Mike?
No.
Yes, I've seen a couple of his videos actually.
Yeah, trigger warning.
Yeah.
So he's a Taurus, and he speaks on like how to create a new democracy, and he like does all these like social experimentations. And he's a Taurus, and he's very value driven, so he like instills these values and then has people align
Probably why I
with
like his
them.
videos.
Yeah, so I just think it's interesting, like when you're thinking about like social change people or like activists, like what is their role and how do they use those strengths to like create
Yeah.
change?
That's awesome.
Like I looked up like which president for the presidents, like what's most likely been the signs. I said that wrong. But
Oh, that's
you
We know
get
cool.
what I'm trying to say.
Yeah,
Yeah, no, I
I
like
think
that.
it was like Capricorns, which actually makes sense.
Why does it make sense?
It makes sense because they're very tunnel vision with their goals and like they want to get things done. And so like if there's something else going on, like a social commitment or anything else, they're like, nope, I have this like test tomorrow. Like I have to study, I have to stay rigid to it. But they also like are very big achievers. And they're like the patriarchal sign of the zodiac. They're like the father sign because they're okay, so like the 6th month, which is Cancers, are this like the maternal sign in the 12th.
6.
Well, I guess I'm the better
Why?
June. I'm the better June.
Why?
And
Sorry,
the
no, go ahead.
12th month
Whoa,
is like
whoa.
Capricorn.
No, it's at
Sagittarius.
the end of June.
Yeah. So maternal, paternal. But anyways, yeah. So it's
That's
like
actually really
interesting.
cool. I
I
know
always
that.
look up like if I'm wondering like which signs are most likely to be the boss of a company. A lot of times it's fire signs because they're
Red.
just like very head forward. Yeah. And they don't really like. Oftentimes it's not water signs because we care about people's emotions a little too much.
Yeah.
So like it's hard for us
Yellows.
sometimes to be leaders because we do have to
Mhm.
kind of upset people in order to make decisions, and that's difficult for us.
Reds and blues.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Huh.
That's
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess like the one way to be able to kind of figure out like what sign would be like what color. Would be like, so what sign would be like more relationship driven? What sign would be more
Results.
results driven?
Yeah.
And then like what tends to be more social driven?
Yeah.
What tends to be more
Yep.
self driven?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's cool. Yeah.
That'd be interesting.
We should do that.
We
We'll
should,
we'll
yeah,
sit down
with
and
the
do that.
Myers-Briggs
We'll make a
thing.
chart.
Yeah,
We'll
when
make a
you,
chart and have
when
some
you
fun.
come back for another
I'll bring my
episode.
book.
And
I
one-
have a whole
one
Maybe
thing-
our first part too.
And one thing
Yeah.
we're gonna do, we're gonna give a huge shout out to Thomas Erickson, the author of Surrounded by Idiots.
Mhm.
Very good book. And if you're in business, leadership, anything, if you work anywhere, just read the book and get your
Yeah.
team members to read it. It's cool.
Yeah.
It's
Though
cool.
disclaimer, it is not necessarily based in. I wouldn't say it's not based in fact. It's more
It's
more like
anecdotal.
anecdotal based, kind
anecdotal.
of like a lot of like any
Yeah.
other personality thing. Like same thing with like star signs. There's really no scientific base for anything. Myers-Briggs, that Surrounded by Idiots.
Yeah.
Like there's really no like concrete. So that's why like psychology is considered a soft science.
Yeah. I mean, my wife is a psychiatrist, and she'll be
Yeah.
quick to say that. I mean,
Everything we just said is bullshit.
her
She'll say the whole
words,
thing's bullshit.
she thinks Myers-Briggs is useless and ridiculous. But
In-
I think there's something to
in
anecdotal.
science,
You know,
it really
anyway,
is.
so, yeah.
And like there's no evidence. So like
Yeah.
if they're scientifically based, blues.
I
They're
mean, there's a science to the stars.
well, yeah. Okay. So.
I was waiting for that.
We
But
weren't
yeah,
attacking
so,
you.
so
We
like,
weren't-
just like disclaimer
I was
for it,
waiting
like,
for the-
We were not
finish.
attacking you, by the way. We
No.
were definitely not.
but like
attacking
so like disclaimer like for the book, it's
Yeah.
it's a fun read and it's fun to actually really like go through it all and it
Yeah.
really is interesting to see how it applies to the people in your everyday life because the whole theory of the book is to be able to how to interact with people around you. Because
Yeah.
if you can't understand the person across from you, you're liable to call them an idiot.
Yeah. And that's been the
That's why it's
interesting.
called Surrounded by Idiots.
That's been the interesting part for me is we're obviously not like quiet about this. Like Sean and I we're planning on starting a business soon, fitness business, and
What's it called?
that's been it's
It's a working
strength
title.
with something. I don't know. Yeah, strength with purpose.
Strength
maybe.
without purpose.
Yeah.
That's
Strength with every.
Can't
yeah,
wait to see the
something.
logo.
We
Yeah.
should do the opposite.
The logo, yeah,
Can't
yeah.
wait. Yeah.
We'll definitely do a fun video about that in the future. But that's one thing that I definitely took from the book was how to communicate to the people that I work with. Now it's just the three of us right now. We're a little holy trinity.
Yeah.
But
Or
it was
quad at the
interesting.
moment.
What's that?
Or quad.
Well, I was just talking about like
I know.
you know, you got me. But it was interesting as far as relating it, how I can relate to the person and how we can kind of communicate. It's neat. It's really neat stuff. Because
Yeah.
there's like the practical,
It's beneficial.
practical exercises.
Yeah, just like any other book you read. If you could just take 2 or 3 things out of it, it's a successful read.
Yeah. I think read a lot, man. If you want to learn about your field, read a bunch of books and
Yeah.
you know, sift through it all, and you'll find some golden nuggets.
Hell yeah. So what time are we at?
50.
No way.
Nice.
Not zero.
That's how
That's a
amazing
good-
of a guest you are, because
that's
it doesn't feel like it's been that long.
No,
Fine
no.
by
Oh
me,
wait.
yeah.
So is that? Did you stop the time when the clock stopped?
No, it was like 2 minutes.
Okay, that
Nice.
wasn't that long.
There we go.
So
There
it's
we go.
48 minutes.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I mean, everything went swimmingly.
Well, let's close. Let's close with a fun question. This has been one that Tommy kind of started. I just want to keep it going. It's kind of like that, the endless wave at a football game, or whatever, if you will. What is your mission?
So, the current name of my fitness brand is Motivate 168.
I love that, by the way.
Thank you. So that 168 is there's 168 hours in the week. So kind of what I talked about earlier of having that holistic approach, right? So you may not be motivated, and the name can be a little deceiving. You may not be motivated all 168 hours, but everything you do does go into your training. So that's your sleep. Huge aspect because that's your recovery, and that's so important. A lot of people don't know you're burning calories as you sleep. That is your mindset. So you might not be motivated right now, but within those 168 hours, just cultivating that drive to be able to get up for such a small percentage of the day and do something, move, whether it's fun, whether it's grueling, whatever it is. And then what you eat, that's part of your training as well. Just being able to fuel up for what you're about to do. And so, my philosophy is just to incorporate all those 168 hours into your practice, and all of that goes into your training. A lot of times people think like, I have to be in the gym and that's what my training is, or I have to be working out and that is training. Training is your lifestyle.
Love that.
Boom.
You can pick that up and drop
Literally
it.
boom. Mic drop.
Well,
Don't. It's very
don't
expensive.
because
It's
it's also not ours.
It's a
But
nice-
you
it's
know,
a
like
nice
metaphor.
one,
But I love that question because every time we get a different answer, and I feel like it's all no answer's the wrong answer, because it's about
Exactly. It's your
Yeah.
mission.
Unless they say they don't have a mission. That's
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I'm
And
just-
that's
I'm just-
like
I'm just
total
being-
world
I'm just
domination.
being
and
smart.
things like
Yeah.
that. That's-
Take it over, buddy.
Alrighty, so Danielle, we want to say that we appreciate you being here and remind you all of the 1,000 subscriber challenge that we have. So once we finally reach that number, which we're getting closer.
Yeah,
Yes
we're
and no.
inching up there slowly.
Exactly.
We're getting closer.
It's a marathon, not a sprint.
Are you a
But
subscriber?
once we get there,
I am.
I hope so. Yeah.
No pressure.
Once we get there, we'll pick 5 winners. Okay, and those 5 winners will win pretty good prizes, in my opinion. One would be 5 free personal training sessions, whether that's in person or on Zoom, whatever, Skype, whatever you guys have, depending on your location and COVID reasons and whatnot. One of these shirts,
Oh, those are
very
cool.
good looking shirt. Yep, you can
Nice.
sleep in it. You do whatever you want. And another one is a 3-month program. It's really based on your goals and tailored from those 5 training sessions because we want to get to know you a little bit more and see how you move and what you specifically need so that we can make the most of those 3 months that you guys will be taking as that prize. So
There we go.
Sounds like some
Like
good
it.
prizes.
5, 3,
That's
1.
awesome. Yeah. And so what we're going to do now is we're going to cheers. We're going to read that bottom phrase on the board and see it. Yeah. All right, guys.
You ready?
Take it over.
Okay.
all right, guys, remember to
Eat and drink local.